Yo, what's up, everyone? Darth Synovia here. How you doing? How's your afternoon, morning, or evening, whatever time you're watching this stream? Well, why did I decide to do this stream when I've tackled a similar subject in a other video last year? Well, if I'd be honest, there's a lot of stuff that I could have brought up but didn't, or couldn't because things didn't get as bad as they were at that time. And if I have to be honest, the Star Wars fandom is far worse than it was at the time I did it. It was worse than I thought. What I'm basically saying, honestly. But I'm mostly going to focus on the YouTube side of things, because I could address Star Wars fans on social media until the cows come home, and I still wouldn't, be able to run out of awful stories to tell about, just how much of I hate this fandom. But the reason for the black hole thumbnail for this, because I think it's appropriate for the current state of Star Wars YouTube. And as someone that I don't even know if I'm still a Star Wars YouTuber, I guess I still am somewhat, but I'm more on the political thing that I've been doing. I just honestly, as someone that's been doing Star Wars content for like years, Jesus, it's like 5 years. No, this is 6. Jesus. Doing this for such a long time, I've seen it devolve into what it is, now. No longer is quality content really, required to be successful, to be a good Star Wars YouTuber. To be a Star Wars YouTuber now is essentially, oh, let's be the next Mike Zero. Let's be the right-wing version of Mike Zero. I'm referring to Doomcock. And there really just isn't much of a difference between Mike Zero or Doomcock, except one of them is an actual neo-Nazi. I can't say for Mike Zero. But the issues I have with the Star Wars fandom on YouTube, it's all the same shit. There's with a few exceptions, all the good Star Wars YouTubers are either barely making content or don't make content anymore. And honestly, it's just rumors and complaining about nonsense. And I thought things might get better, foolishly, but Cara Dune, it just reinforces everything. I thought of the Star Wars fandom when I did that video, back before I went solo. It's a dumpster fire. Like, the Gina Carano controversy is freaking something that, I don't see it ending anytime soon. These grifters who don't actually care about Star Wars are just taking advantage of every opportunity that there's a controversy, whether it's, a manufactured controversy by them or a made-up controversy, just to keep their freaking clout going. Because let's be honest, Geeks and Gamers, the Quartering, Doomcock, none of them would be doing Star Wars content if they weren't getting paid. As far as I'm concerned, they're fake fans. They're not real fans. They're not. In fact, if you're a real Star Wars fan, I feel like you'd be producing Star Wars content regardless if you were getting paid or not. And these people wouldn't be doing what they're doing with Star Wars if they weren't getting paid. And I do feel like the Fandom Menace have ruined Star Wars YouTube, honestly. Because if you're going to be a successful Star Wars YouTuber, I use these words quote loosely, because I think it's impossible to be a successful Star Wars YouTuber. It's literally impossible. Because to be a successful Star Wars YouTuber, you basically have to be the exact opposite. You don't do Star Wars content. You do like nothing but complaining about stuff. And I've am a part of other fandoms. I don't see this in other fandoms to this extent. Like, I can easily find good channels for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that do great Ninja Turtles content. I'm subscribed to a few TMNT channels. They're not maybe not be as active as these fake Star Wars channels, but I'm just gonna be real, honestly, regarding Star Wars. If you're a fan of any other fandom, you're not gonna find good content. I mean, just recently got back into Mass Effect because it's been years since I played those games, and I found some good Mass Effect channels that do some pretty good Mass Effect lore videos. There's good Halo, lore channels. I mean, any other fandom I can name has a better content creators than Star Wars does now. In fact, I'm going to disagree with my colleague, Jedi Master Daniel here. I think almost 100% of Star Wars YouTube, is nothing more than a big, huge black hole. I mean, the good Star Wars YouTubers don't produce content much, or they no longer produce content. The good content creators of Star Wars are gone, pretty much. The golden age for Star Wars YouTube was like between the years 2011 to 2017. I'm referring to late 2017, before The Last Jedi came out. That was the golden age of Star Wars YouTube. Like the years of 2011 through 2017. That was the golden age for Star Wars YouTube. There was a lot of good Star Wars YouTube content. In fact, it was overwhelming how much content there was for Star Wars. And as much as I don't like to say this, I don't like Hello Greedo, but he produced decent content, honestly. Same thing with Explained. Even Dash Star, before he went Fandom Menace, produced good content. And some people who did produce good content in this time were driven off YouTube because of harassment by, toxic fans. And no, Disney fans don't get to claim that the alt-right are the only toxic emolents in the Star Wars fandom, but they're just so outnumbered by the, alt-right Star Wars fans these days. And I use that word loosely, by the way. I'm not even going to call them fans. I'm just going to call them alt-righters. That you don't notice them anymore. They still exist, but they're so minuscule at this point that you best treat them like they don't exist. Hey, what's up? I'm just doing a thing about Star Wars YouTube. Now, if you're looking at this, and you've already watched the other video I did on the subject, this is not going to be the same kind of stream, because I'm focusing exclusively on Star Wars YouTube. And I used to have a podcast where I used to do collaborations. It didn't quite work out, so I've gone solo ever since. But whatever, I made peace with that. It's just, I know what it's like putting a lot of work into a podcast. And I'm just telling you, as someone that has done it through personal experience, it's difficult to produce good content. It's difficult to actually do an in-depth video that talks about a story in depth and does a deep dive analysis on this. And the reason why I don't do it that often anymore, and why my Test of Courage review still hasn't been done, is because part of me thinks, what is the point? I can do something like this, and I'd get more views. Now, I don't care about the views, in fact, to be honest, but I'm just being real here. When I do content like this, ranting and raving, people are more likely to be engaged with it than if I were to review a book. Because I love reviewing books, but most people don't read. unfortunately. They're not going to, unfortunately. They won't do shit. If they haven't done anything after the Capitol riot, they won't do it shit now. And as much as I am reluctant to say this, you know, you could say what you want about Matt Wilkins. He doesn't produce, his content isn't bad. If you can ignore his association with Ryan Kennel and the Fandom Menace, his content isn't bad. He's one of the few Star Wars YouTubers that I don't even know if he's a Star Wars YouTuber. I haven't watched Matt Wilkins in like almost 2 years, honestly. Or has it been? God damn, it hasn't been 2 years, but it certainly feels like it. But I'd have to, I can't be dishonest and say Matt Wilkins doesn't produce content that's decent, because he does. He does have interesting analysis, and his knowledge on the EU is good. And I know there's certain people that are stalking this video. They're think I'm just gonna rant and rave about Matt Wilkins. I'm not. If someone does good content, they do good content, even if I don't like them personally. Let's just check in some comments. So I know, for those of you who don't know who Matt Wilkins is, long story short, he's a Star Wars YouTuber that does a bunch of EU content. I don't know if he's done reviewing EU reviews. I haven't been paying attention to him, for like over a year and a half, honestly. So I don't know what he does these days. And I recall there's some other former associates that did some good content too. It's just the good Star Wars content, isn't the fact that it doesn't exist. It's just it's overshadowed by garbage. I mean, seriously, Geeks and Gamers is one of the worst fucking Star YouTubers to ever exist. Like, same thing with Ryan Kennel, Doomcock. I'm not even going to talk about the small YouTubers, because fuck those people. You could ignore them. But the big YouTubers is what drives, majority of the fandom on Star Wars YouTube to discuss Star Wars. And it's all the same shit. There is no really room for discourse anymore on Star Wars YouTube. If you don't like the new content, then, that's all that you're going to get when it comes to dominance. I could probably do a bunch of streams shitting on the High Republic and probably get a good amount of reviews, but that'd be a waste of time, because why would I do that? It's just, it doesn't take much, skill. It doesn't take much thought to do what the Fandom Menace does. It's easy, and that's why, these videos continue to make a lot of money. I mean, Star Wars YouTube, it's just full of copycats. People that want to, be like Geeks and Gamers, be like The Quartering, be like, Evan V. Skyver. They don't want to actually, do their own, analysis or their own views of what Star Wars means to them. It's hard to even look at a Star Wars channel. It's like, wow, that is a good Star Wars channel. Oh man, it's like, I don't remember the last time I watched a Star Wars video and like, wow, that was amazing. And it's been so long, since I've watched a Star Wars video that has been fucking great. Because all it is these days, it's just the same bullshit. Whining like children because their stupid, retarded theories that never came true. They are a cult. Yes. That's exactly what they are. I'm just, long story short, the Phantom Menace are a bunch of right-wing losers. That's basically what they are. If you're familiar with the anti-SJW cult, that's essentially what they are. I mean, I don't think it's as bad on YouTube as it is on Twitter. Twitter is a fucking cesspool. Though I would probably do a Twitter thing another time regarding, the Star Wars fandom. But I feel like I feel really bad for Star Wars YouTubers who are just starting out who is trying to get their content off the ground. I feel bad because the algorithm is so stacked against them. And I just, not to sound like an ass or anything, I personally don't think it's worth starting an Star Wars YouTube channel, because in this stage, if you ain't fandom menace, you ain't shit. And this, I'm just spewing on facts here. It's an undeniable fact that the fandom menace, unless you have their viewpoint, you're not going to get the views, because a lot of the people, these man children, don't want to watch videos that actually do a deep dive into, Star Wars. They'd rather just watch a bunch of, morons complain about shit. It's one of the reasons why the Star Wars fandom on the internet is the worst fandom I've ever encountered online. Because in every other fandom, you might have some toxic elements in them. I've encountered them in every fandom, but Star Wars, it fucking, is pretty much the only fandom I could say for certain that it's impossible to go into a video, even a positive Star Wars YouTuber, without having some assholes in the comment section trying to start shit. It's like, it's impossible. Like, I mean, Archives Ladder, I've looked at his channel, and his channel is slowly devolving into the same fucking bullshit that, all these other channels that, I described, are. It's just, they're not any good anymore. I just don't think there really is a good Star Wars YouTuber. And as someone that is probably a former Star Wars YouTuber, it might as well say I'm a former. I don't even think my content was that great to begin with, if I have to be honest. But at least I actually enjoyed making the content. And that's the problem. None of these people actually care about the Star Wars content they're making. The only thing they care about is making a quick buck. Okay, so fuck Star Wars theory. I don't care about that, fascist sympathizer. I really don't like Star Wars freaking theory. You're people like the fandom ass don't speak for Star Wars fans. Honestly. And you do realize Kathleen Kennedy is heavily involved in Mandalorian, right? And no, this is not a platform for debate. Sorry. I'm going to put you on timeout. I mean, okay. I don't know who this person is. He's not blocked. He's just on timeout. Because this is not a stream for debate. Because this is not what Jedi's Canteen is about. I'm not about debating. I just want to talk about Star Wars and give my own thoughts. And this is about the fandom. This is not a democracy. And I'm just going to make it known to people who watch this stream who disagree with me. This is not a democracy. Just because, you are watching this video doesn't mean you can debate me here. This is not what this is for. You're a guest, nothing more. This is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to the current state of the Star Wars fandom. These people, they do not and will not, tolerate people with a different opinion. And everything they say about the people they criticize is complete self-projection. These fake fans, I'm calling them fake fans. It's very rare you find people in this camp that are actually genuine Star Wars fans. When you actually, ask them a Star Wars question, the majority of them won't actually be able to name anything without looking it up on Wikipedia. I mean, that Star Wars girl was called out for her lack of Star Trek knowledge. It's like these people are trying to, like a virus, invade every fandom they can. It's good there has been some pushback against these people, though not enough, in my opinion. I don't care about the fandom menace. And besides, Star Wars is not my priority, child. And you know what? I don't know who you are, but I'm not debating you. You're blocked. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the same person. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. The fandom menace, the only reason they're successful is because, of clout. That's all they are. If you take away, the financial incentive to do content, you would see these people abandoning the fandom menace in droves. Most people, that do these content do not care. And you're just seeing a bunch of copycat channels. That's all these people are. The fandom menace don't really have a diversity in thought. I mean, if you actually go to, the average comment section in a fandom menace, content creator, all their comments are the same. You would think that they're NPCs, but they are. They're not really people, honestly. It doesn't feel like that. Anyway, this is not about the fandom menace. This is about the current state of Star Wars YouTube and why, it will always, at least until things change. Since 2017, it's just become a dumpster fire. It really is a dumpster. There is literally no reason to make Star Wars content these days. There is no reason. The only reason to, make Star Wars content is A, you want to bitch about Star Wars nonstop, and hopefully you'll be like the next Geeks and Gamers. Or B, you don't give a shit about views, you just want to make content. The only other way you could be successful as a Star Wars YouTuber, and this is something I've been seeing lately with other people and other fandoms and people who do other stuff outside of nerd stuff, is to be part of a multi-channel network, is to, be part of a network of content creators that will help promote your content and you help promote theirs. That's the only other way you could build, your channel. And unfortunately, I think for Star Wars, that time has long since passed. If you wanted to be a successful Star Wars YouTuber, the best time to do it was between 2015 and 2017. Because after that, there's literally no reason to be a Star Wars YouTuber. Because all those people that actually have the views and have the sub count, they got it at that time. And not to mention, the algorithm on YouTube is a bitch to get around these days. And unless, you are corporate friendly to YouTube, they're not going to advertise your channel. So you have to work with a network of people to be successful. And that's just facts that, I think a lot of, Star Wars fans just don't want to deal with, unfortunately. You're free to make your own videos if you wish, but telling us somebody that has had experience, making content on this channel, I do not think, it's worth it, honestly, these days. Because majority of the nerds online just do not want to watch someone's video of them reviewing a piece of, of a book or a comic or a video game. They just want you to rant and rave about everything and anything, because that's all, that gets views these days. And I'm pretty sure this Jedi's Cantina podcast is probably going to get more views than all of my, others Jedi's Cantina podcast. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it works. People are more interested in seeing somebody rant about something regardless how stupid it may be, because that's what people want to see. That's just the reality of things. It wasn't like that, you know, 10 years ago, but things have increasingly changed. And in order to be successful, you have to adapt. Though that's not what I'm about. I'm about being true to myself and doing what I want to do. And that's how you tell who's a genuine content creator and who is nothing more than a sellout and somebody that doesn't actually care about producing content, that they themselves enjoy making or they would like to make for their audience to enjoy. It's all about the clout. Geeks and Gamers, if you took away the financial incentive for him to make videos, he wouldn't be making them anymore. That's just, the reality of things. You can't just say, oh, he's a fan. Is he really a fan? Because if you stripped, the financial incentive to all of these people, you'll see who the real fan is pretty fucking quick and who isn't. Because some Star Wars YouTubers didn't start off as Star Wars YouTubers. They started off as, YouTubers of other franchises. And when Star Wars got them more clout, they switched to Star Wars. And when The Last Jedi controversy happened, they, went to even further into Star Wars content because negative Star Wars content does better than positive Star Wars content. It's unfortunate, but, that's just how things are on Star Wars YouTube. Of course, it's like that with other stuff as well, but I'm speaking from a Star Wars YouTuber's perspective that you will always, see the evolution of a former, YouTuber of a previous thing that they've done before, and they switched to Star Wars because it got them more views and money. I don't know I think I heard Mike Zero start off doing Dragon Ball content. Then he switched to Star Wars, got him more, views. I didn't even start off as a Star Wars channel originally. I started off as a channel that ranted about every little stupid thing that came to my mind. And that's all my channel was. None of you guys can watch those videos anymore because they haven't been up on the site for years. Though, if I have to be honest, I found most of my older videos embarrassing. Honestly, this rant was probably was pointless. At the end of the day, I'd be lying that it wasn't. But it just feels good to basically ramble because, honestly, there's nothing else I can think of I want to do at the moment. My Anakin discussion will happen at a time where I feel like doing it. It's just, unfortunately, when I do positive Star Wars content, it almost gets no attention because that's not what people want to see. And I can't fault my audience for that. I mean, I did build up my channel as a rant channel at first, then did Star Wars content, and then did rant videos, and my rant videos did better than my positive videos. So it's unfortunate. But what does this have to do with the Star Wars fandom being a black hole? Honestly, what it has to do with is I'm just seeing a pattern where the slow decay of Star Wars YouTube. And it's really sad when I think about it because how good Star Wars YouTube used to be. I mean, 2011 to 2017, you had a lot of great Star Wars content. And going back to it, even just looking at the thumbnails, I can't help it, but feel some sort of nostalgia. Because it was the best time to be a Star Wars YouTuber at that time. And most of the good YouTubers from that era are no longer making videos. And it's really sad. Or if they are making videos, they've went the negative fandom route. It's really sad and depressing when you think about it. That as much as I would like to do positive Star Wars content, it's like I mean, I think about it. What's the point? I like reviewing Star Wars novels, but when I get those reviews up, it feels like nobody wants to fucking watch them. I do it. I give the people what they want, and that they don't watch it. It's one of the reasons why it's kind of frustrating. I enjoy doing the streams more because I feel like I can at least engage with my audience. You didn't miss much, Louis. It just I feel like I can engage with my audience, so I enjoy doing this more because at least if I don't get as much views with these streams, I can at least, you know, engage with my audience and talk to them. Honestly, yeah, it is true. Negativity does sell. It's why when you compare positive Star Wars content to negative, the views are so much higher. Like, it's a huge difference. And honestly, Star Wars Theory, some people will like to use an example as positive. I hardly call him positive, considering his association with geeks and gamers. And him acting like a complete man child when he was trying to make money off, the Darth Vader fan film. As well made as that was, you know, let's be honest here, it would have never gotten any attention if it wasn't for The Last Jedi backlash. You're not wrong. Subs don't mean shit, honestly. Subs don't mean shit. If you honestly, I don't know where you've been, buddy, but back 5 years ago, subs did actually mean something. It doesn't mean shit now. You can have 1,000 subs and get only 5 views or 50 views on videos. You don't know anything, boy. I've been on this, site for, Jesus, 13 years now, and I could tell you that, unless you are friendly to the algorithm, you ain't gonna get views. That has nothing to do with the quality of my channel. There's plenty of channels that have produced far better content than any of the shitty fandom menacers, and they don't even get half the attention they get. Yeah, I agree. B Level's prequel edit won't be uploaded because, let's be real, the copyright system on YouTube is fucked, and he wouldn't be able to upload it even if he wanted to. It'd probably be his highest viewed video of all time. And you cannot judge a channel based on how many views it has, because unless you have the tens of thousands, like even then, I've seen people who've have tens of thousands of views that don't get much views these days. So no, it doesn't mean shit if you have thousands of subs, because most of the time, and I'm being real here, people subscribe to somebody when they see one video they like and ignore their channel after that because they have like 1,000 subs and they can't keep up with them. Most people that watch my channel don't have that many subscriptions. You're not wrong. Actually, that's not true though. If I'm mentioning Star Wars, anything Star Wars, you're correct. If I'm talking about politics, no, that's false. Honestly, that's false. Me and B Level, we get more views doing political content than we do doing Star Wars. And the fandom menace, it's a fact that unless you are Star Wars explained, you ain't gonna get shit in terms of views. That's why I'm saying that if you're going to do Star Wars YouTube, do it for fun. Don't expect to get the views though. If you can, you know, be part of a network of content creators that are like-minded like you, and you can help increase your support that way. Because the time where you could gang, a bunch of subscribers, without a multi-channel network is over. This ain't 2005 anymore. In 2006, most of us are not going to be AVGN. None of that is ever going to happen. Angry Video Game Nerd would never have gotten that success today without the help of a multi-channel network. That's just something that everybody has to do these days. It's one of the reasons the Fandom Menace is successful in the first place, is the multi-channel network. Their support, happen as fast as it did is because they gamed the algorithm. They had a multi-channel network, so those who started off really small, they doubled their size of their sub count because they constantly shared each other's content. It's unfortunate, but the people who do positive Star Wars content aren't as organized as those who do negative Star Wars content. Because positive Star Wars content creators out there, they're not part of a group of content creators. They'd outmaneuver the negative ones if they actually were organized, but they don't. Because, well, I guess they just don't see the value of being part of a network. I mean, if somebody would be part of a network, let's say with Archide's Ladder, Hello Greedo, and Star Wars Explained, they'd get a lot of support pretty quickly. But that's not going to happen because those YouTubers have better things to do with their time in their eyes than to share content with small YouTubers. It's a sad reality of how things are in the current state of YouTube. I hate the Fandom Menace. I'm not, honestly, because they've ruined the discourse for Star Wars in general. But that's a discussion for another time because this stream isn't really about them. I think I'm getting close to the end because I don't know what else more to say. I'm starting to repeat myself. So I think when I'm starting to repeat myself, I feel like that's the time to end the stream. But before I go, I'd like to basically have some final words for those of you who are starting out doing Star Wars content or who are considering it. Unless you're part of a multi-channel network, I would advise against being making new Star Wars content unless you don't give a shit about views and you just want to make content. I'm just letting you know that I don't think it's worth investing 6 or 10 hours into videos only for it to get like barely any views. This is why I do streams. It takes far less effort to do this than to edit a video. It is difficult, doing pre-recorded videos and editing them because let's be real, it actually is far more time consuming doing that, and I think it takes far more skill to do that too. And I don't think anybody can do that. I don't have the time or patience to do it. And considering how it would get the same amount of views as my regular Star Wars reviews anyway, if I were to do a pre-recorded podcast, it's pointless. So if you ask me, just do what you like. I wouldn't spend too much time doing pre-recorded videos for Star Wars because honestly, I don't think, you're going to get the results that you desire. But if you can prove me wrong, go ahead. If you could do positive Star Wars content without doing a multi-channel network, you're free to try, but I don't think you're going to succeed realistically. Anyway, That's not exactly how it works, but I'm not debating this because this Jedi's Cantina is not about debating people live. Anyway, I'm too I'm too tired to continue this. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm going to close it here. Anyway, may the Force be with us. Next time I'll do better Star Wars content. That will be the discussion of Anakin Skywalker and how it's related to fascism. I'll have to rewatch the prequels again because anyway, I'll discuss that when I get to it. Anyway, good day, everyone. Stay safe. May the Force be with you, and see you guys next time with another video. Thank you.